So, very quickly, before you finish up your graffiti design, let's just quickly take a look at this. So, if you're ready, you've added your shadow, you've added a gradient to every letter using a compound path. You have at least two designs, hopefully significantly more, that were cut out of each letter, and you've created a shadow. Now you're ready to add a background design, and I want to show you some options for doing that that'll make things interesting for you. So here's my design. I'm going to go ahead and lock everything except for, oh, well, I'm going to lock everything, but I'm going to have a layer up here. And I added this design just to show you something, but I'll show you how I got this. I'll delete it and re-add it again. Delete. So if you want to add a cool design, here's one of the ways I've found to do it. It's obviously there are many ways, but this is a neat one. There's something called the symbol sprayer tool. For the symbol sprayer tool, you have to assign it a symbol, and think of it as kind of like a stamp. So if you go to Window and click on Symbols, this comes up, and mine happens to have, yours might have like a default set of symbols here. But if you go to Open Symbol Library, you'll notice there are quite a few options right here. Some of these won't work for what we're doing, but like I found the grime vector pack is kind of interesting, and also the dot pattern vector pack is kind of interesting, and I'll show you how to even download more symbols off the internet and upload them. So if I click dot vector pattern pack, this comes up, and you can see, I don't know how well you can see that, but if I like click on this one here, so imagine this is like, I'm using this like a brush, and I click just once, I get that. Pretty cool, huh? If you wanted to, you could resize this or rotate this. So if I wanted it to be bigger or smaller, I could do that. I could also, watch this, if I try to change the color, it doesn't work. But here's a workaround I found, is that this is, think of this as kind of like a big stamp. But if I go to Object, Expand, and say OK, now you can see it's all of this, it's vectorized. I have individual vectors, which I can manipulate, get rid of. So if I want part of it gone, I can do that. But also if I now select the whole thing and I decide, say for example, I want to object compound path make and give this a gradient. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. So I think you get the idea with that. So I found that the two really cool ones here, there's the grime vector pack, which is right here. So like if I wanted a ink splatter, for example, I can do the same thing, grab the symbol sprayer brush, and again, you know, I can make it look like, you know, this is a wall with like graffiti dripping down it or something. Again, if I want to change the color of this, object, expand, and then maybe it's going to be, it's kind of cliche, but like a red. Maybe I'll make it like a darker red. Yeah, there we go. So you get the idea with that. So I think already that's going to start to make this look a little bit more interesting. But if you go online, just to show you, too many things here. I typed in, this is one website I went to, Vector Portals, and they actually have other symbols you can download. Some sites will charge you for these, and this one, it'll say if they're free, it'll let you know. So for example, if I type in online, I'm just going to keep going back. I'll just do it up here. So I'll say free symbols for Illustrator, CS6. And there's Vector Portal. I haven't really tested a lot of these yet, but this is interesting. Signs and symbol vectors. Let's see what that one has. So there's some cool ones here, like here's some arrows and things like that. These are all, again, symbols. So if there's something you're like, hey, that looks kind of cool, I could use that as a symbol in my design. Let me show you how to download something. So this is page 1 of 2 of actually 141. I like those arrows. Where were those? Here we go. Arrows collection. Okay, so free download. Make sure you're clicking the right thing. Oh, this one asks that I credit the author, so I'm not going to use that one because I want it to be completely copyright free. Anyway, I downloaded one earlier from a different site. It's cool. It says free license with the attribution, so again I have to credit the author. One that I didn't have to credit the author, let me show you. If I, whoopsie, if I come back over here and I go to my, this little thing and I say open symbol library, go to other library. If you've downloaded a symbol thing, so for example, it's under my downloads. There was one called VP Halftones that I downloaded, so I would just click on VP Halftones. Let me show you once I upload it. I've got a lot of stuff in my downloads folder. Oh yeah, there it is. And I would say open, whoopsie, that. There it is. So just to show you how cool this is, like this is a neat one right there. So I'll grab my symbol sprayer, whoopsie, and click. And there we go. So that's a really cool one, I think. So some things are it's kind of limited, but you get the idea. But create a background, make your image look interesting. Maybe this shouldn't just be white in the background. Like that looks kind of lame to have that be white. Like just to show you, if I wanted to create a color behind here, right, and maybe make it like a dark red again. Put this all the way down below everything. And then bring up my graffiti designs. Obviously I have to get the layer order correct too. This is a mess. But that looks so much better than just a plain old white background. You know, give it a sense of place. Do something with it. But give it a sense of background. So that's the last part of the assignment for you to work on for this.